Ebusia for ne for any day kwan so me ma obi bia akwa baba chani so daily update TV. Ebusia me pacho yesterday the President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Peba Bonte be addressing the state. Na so far no or addressing the state on the achievement so far by within the 120 days nyema wetimi achieve na Peba Bonte be kan se bebre. Now prior to so obe Peba Bonte kra be addressing the state na there are some neutrals, some Ghanaians or more kind of credit, almost should be beyond the credit, and they are some Pina Peba Bonting ever score the President of the Republic of Ghana 80 plus 80 to most 80 above 80, of which I'm squan watching a winner 80 and above A first class or pass it. And I just said the President of the Republic of Ghana so far, he has worked his stock. Yes, he has really worked his stock. And na me pacho yesterday ni address oka nsem bia na oche say the 2020 electoral violence, any 2024 electoral violence, any other violence and as a related violence so far the ono de onaye omondae na ban ne de omondae omo adwuma gidigidi pa ma so for omatuma cheche nkofo bi kura ankofo no ebi more custody ye detaining nkofo a whole lot na ebusia Mema mkasa nyetintin yebekoni akuti nsem na nkasa free the President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Ni wi ebedi nkoma echi nyakopon sha no nyoke. Se ma so tie wi ado opinion ebe share comment section honem yebeje na yakenka nyakopon sha ye nyina. Yenkoni enkoti wi me pacho yebedi nkomo.
We promise to commence investigative processes into security agencies to purge state security agencies of militia and vigilante elements and enhance professionalism. A board of inquiry has been established by the Ghana Armed Forces to investigate recent recruitment processes, aiming to uncover discrepancies and implement corrective measures. Robust background checks are ongoing for all recruits and serving personnel, and mandatory ideological reorientation sessions are planned to reinforce military neutrality, national unity, and loyalty to the state and the constitution. A biometric database is being introduced to cross-check personnel against national criminal and security intelligence records, automatically disqualifying applicants linked to political vigilante networks. This aims to decentralize and depoliticize recruitments. Similar processes are underway across other security agencies, including the police, fire, service, and prison services. Reopening investigations into major unresolved criminal cases. Delivering justice is crucial for national healing and trust in our institutions. And so we promise to open investigations into major unresolved criminal cases, including the 2020 elections killings, Ayawaso Gombai election violence, and the murder of Ahmed Swale and Silas Wolochami. The new Inspector General of Police has established a special task force. Investigations have been reopened and progress is being made. In the tragic murder of Ahmed Hussein Swale 6 years later, the police service have made an arrest and the suspect was arraigned before court and remanded. Investigations are also ongoing into the election 2020 Tishman South incident where 2 lives were lost. In Odododiodio, where 2 persons died, 3 individuals have been charged with conspiracy and murder and committed for trial at the High Court. In Ablekuma Central, where a military officer is alleged to have caused a death, the scene has been revisited and a request was made to the Chief of Army Staff for the release of the personnel involved to assist in investigations. For the tragic death of Silas Wolochami in Banda, the Attorney General's office under the previous administration had advised against prosecution due to lack of evidence. But I'm pleased to report that we have reopened the case based on actionable intelligence. In Doma West, where Kofi Robert died, 1 person has been charged and is standing trial, while the other suspect is at large and is being pursued. In Savlugu, where Zakaria Samira, a 16-year-old, died from a gunshot Efforts are still being made to find the assailant despite a lack of cooperation from witnesses. And concerning the January 31st, 2019, Watsup Us Wogombai election violence, where 18 persons suffered injury from individuals later identified as national security operatives, we will not let that matter die without justice being served to the victims. ASP Azugo, who was deeply involved in the violence and atrocities on the day, is currently cooperating with the National Investigations Bureau to identify, arrest, and prosecute all those who were involved in the violence. With respect to cases from the 2024 election violence that resulted in tragic deaths in constituencies like Tolong, Damango, Autusenya East, Nkranza South, Ofinso North, and Ahafua North Southwest, the cases are being investigated by the Special Task Force. These are senseless deaths that should never again happen in our nation. Elections are to choose leaders, not to murder our citizens. We are committed to ensuring accountability for political violence so that it will not happen again. The Attorney General is working on a report for Cabinet to recommend appropriate compensation for victims and families involved in these unlawful incidents. Ladies and gentlemen, we promise to initiate a probe into the VRA Akosombo Bond Dam spillage to address the man-made disaster caused by the VRA spillage and prevent future occurrences. We promise to initiate a probe and take steps to compensate the victims. So this administration set up a committee chaired by Engineer Kofi, a former VRA chief executive. The committee has recommended strategies to prevent future occurrences, including establishing what is called a controlled spill flood plan and implementing downstream engineering solutions for flood management. I've directed that the recommendations be implemented immediately. I further indicated that if they are not properly implemented and another destructive VRA flooding occurs like in 2023, the VRA CEO and deputies must resign or be sacked. Initiate immediate steps to compensate flood victims. The 2025 budget has made provisions for the compensation payment, and a team has been put together to coordinate the compensation exercise. I call on the chiefs and people of the affected areas to facilitate the smooth and peaceful execution of this compensation exercise. We promise to shake up and realign state-owned enterprises to enhance their profitability and their value. On March 13, 2025, I hosted a high-level meeting of CEOs under the State Interest and Governance Authority, SIGA, to underscore the critical importance of reforms. We are implementing an enhanced performance management system with clear targets, monitoring financial and operational performance, and promoting good governance in these institutions. A deep dive study is underway to uncover the root causes of challenges and provide insights for targeted strategies to foster innovation and adaptability. My vision is clear: to transform the SOEs into robust pillars of economic growth. This may involve shutting down some of them or merging some of them together. SIGA is facilitating discussions to revive the produce buying company, deliberating with the Ghana Stock Exchange about the potential listing of at least 10 of the SOEs on the stock exchange, and encouraging them to prioritize dividend payments as their primary objective this year. My fellow citizens, this has been a comprehensive account of our actions in the first 120 days of my administration. We laid out a social contract with you, the people of Ghana, with specific promises for this critical initial period. Tonight, I'm pleased to report to you that we have fulfilled these promises. From forming a lean government and establishing a road robust code of conduct, to taking decisive action to scrap burdensome taxes, initiating inquiries into past wrongdoings, launching major job creation programs, tackling illegal mining, reviving our environment, promoting our tourism and export sector, streamlining scholarships, supporting vulnerable populations, and holding our security agencies accountable. The foundation for resetting Ghana and building the Ghana we want together is being laid with speed and determination. These actions are not merely check boxes on a list. They signify a fundamental shift in how government operates, with transparency, accountability, efficiency, and a profound sense of urgency for the well-being of every Ghanaian. Fellow citizens, I take my promises seriously, and my word is my bond. Although we've established a solid foundation in this first 120 days, considerable work remains on the journey to realize the Ghana we all want together. This journey requires the collective effort of all of us, and I'm profoundly grateful for the mandate you have given me and my government to lead this nation. Your trust is our most valued asset, and we'll continue to work tirelessly to deserve that trust. And so I call upon every Ghanaian in every city, town, and village, in every sector of our economy, across every political divide, to join hands with us. Let us continue to work hard together, united by one purpose and a shared vision, to overcome the challenges and build a brighter, more prosperous future for our beloved nation. Nominate the complete list of cabinet ministers for parliamentary approval within the first 14 days and to constitute the leanest and most efficient government under the Fourth Republic within the first 90 days. As promised, I announced the complete list of my cabinet ministers for parliamentary approval within the first 14 days of being sworn in. They were all successfully vetted and approved, and they have hit the ground running. Indeed, I have so far appointed only 56 ministers and deputies so far, the smallest number of ministers and deputies appointed by any president in the Fourth Republic. We've also nominated our metropolitan, municipal, and district chief executives going through the various phases of confirmation to complete the formation of our governance team at the local level. Establishing a robust code of conduct. I have committed to establishing a robust code of conduct and standards for all government officials to instill integrity and accountability from day one. Building on my previous efforts, we have reworked and finalized a significantly improved version of the Code of Conduct for government appointees. The comprehensive document launched last Monday addresses new areas including a prohibition on purchasing state property directly or indirectly, regulations regarding hampers, and clear monetary limits for official gifts. I've left my appointees in no doubt that I'll bring down the hammer swiftly and strongly if they breach any of these provisions. We promise to hold a national economic dialogue within the first 90 days to understand the state of our economy and build consensus on the way forward. On March 3rd and 4th, 2025, the government of Ghana convened the National Economic Dialogue at the Accra International Conference Center, bringing together partners including the private sector, civil society organizations, traditional authorities, and academia. The participants presented a comprehensive report with clear recommendations to restore macroeconomic stability and regain confidence in our economy. These included enhancing fiscal and monetary coordination, reviewing the foreign exchange regime, implementing major tax reforms, overhauling the public financial management system, reforming state-owned enterprises, strengthening expenditure controls, establishing a credible medium-term expenditure framework, promoting strict fiscal discipline on the part of government, and aggressively pursuing inclusive growth. The implementation of these recommendations has begun to yield results. The currency is becoming fairly stable, inflation is inching downwards, and we have reduced the excessive borrowing that had become the trademark of past governments. The report also provided valuable advice on promoting industrialized agriculture and aligning skills development with national priorities. We've taken this advice seriously, and implementation is underway, guiding our economic policy decisions. Following the recommendations of the National Economic Dialogue, we've amended the Public Financial Management Act 2016, Act 921, to introduce a debt rule that aims to reduce the ratio of debt to GDP to 45% by the year 2034. We've also established an operational rule to post an annual primary surplus of at least 1.5% of GDP on a commitment basis. The amendment also allows for the establishment of an independent fiscal council for corrective measures. An amendment of the Public Procurement Act has also been passed, making the issuance of a commitment certificate by the Minister for Finance a prerequisite for all procurements funded by the central government. Scrapping draconian is to alleviate hardship and ease the high cost of doing business. I promise to scrap the e-levy, the COVID levy, the 10% levy on bet weddings, and the emissions levy within my first 90 days in office. These tax expenditure measures were central to our 2025 budget statement. On April 2nd, 2025, I signed several bills into law, including the Electronic Transfer Levy e-levy repeal bill 2025, the emissions levy repeal bill, and the betting tax. We have delivered on 3 of these 4 specific tax repeals as promised. The COVID levy has intricate linkages to the existing IMF program. As a value-added tax, we have agreed with our multilateral partners to include it in our overall VAT rationalization exercise that is scheduled for September this year. We've significantly exceeded our 120-day promises regarding overall tax reform by enacting other critical bills such as the Value-Added Tax Amendment Bill, the Income Tax Amendment Bill, the removal of VAT on motor vehicles, the Public Financial Management Bill, the Growth and Sustainability Levy Act, the Earmarked Funds Capping and Realignment Bill, the Gold Board Bill, the Energy Sector Levy Bill, and the Petroleum Revenue Amendment Bill. This swift legislative action underscores our commitment to providing relief and creating a more favorable economic environment. Reviewing taxes on industrial and agricultural imports. We're committed to reviewing taxes and levies on vehicles and equipment imported for industrial and agricultural purposes within our first 90 days. My government has initiated the crucial review process. The results of this comprehensive review will guide policy decisions and be incorporated into the 2025 mid-year budget review and subsequently the 2026 budget, ensuring that we support these vital sectors effectively. Commencing the 24-hour economy policy. One of our signature policies for job creation and economic transformation is the 24-hour economy policy. We promise to commence drafting the needed legal amendments and prepare for its implementation within the first 120 days. The program is designed to drive structural transformation across our economy, built on pillars aimed at revamping key sectors such as agriculture, manufacturing, and tourism. The program rollout has commenced in earnest. The 24-hour Secretariat is collaborating with the Development Bank of Ghana and the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund to operationalize financing pillars for this program. Cabinet has approved amendments to the Ghana Investment Promotion Center Act and the Labour Act to include specific clauses regarding 24-hour operations. These amendments aim to enhance social protection, create an enabling environment for the 24-hour economy policy, and promote conducive business and labor relations. Already several businesses are lining up to sign on to this policy. Some tangible actions have also been taken. The Ghana Investment Promotion Center has launched 24-hour premium services to eliminate processing delays for investors. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has launched a 24-hour passport service with the passport application headquarters operating 24/7. The DVLA used a 24-hour service to clear a long-standing 18 months backlog of licenses and will soon commission a new 24-hour service office at Adenta in Accra. The Youth Employment Agency is set to launch the Graduates in Corporate Support GRICS program, which will attach graduates to firms operating 24 hours a day. This program is targeting 20,000 graduates. The YEA is also partnering with security agencies, the fire, police, immigration services, to provide security for 24-hour firms, and is working towards training and deploying 23,000 recruits for this purpose. Recognizing the need for robust security, the police service is establishing a 24-hour police unit to improve 9 patrols and utilize technology supported by nationwide sensitization. The Minister of Energy and Green Transition is engaging the PRC to set up smart metering with a time of use tariff, charging a lesser tariff during the off-peak hours, a direct incentive for enterprises on the 24-hour economy policy.
Ebusia me do bibia se wanyamre no wabenye video ni bi so ahwe se dem kan no ha daily update TV mesro se obuo kwan se wo comment e be share comment section hon me be gina ya kan na me pacho the President of the Republic of Ghana, so far how far so far how do you also rate on also the achievement in it is true say it's been above 80 because social promises be or cast or be achieve within the first 120 days, you know. Almost 80, above 80% they were to achieve out to move say. Why are they? Because as I'm trying to watch when you're 80, A. And A now when you know one, not just what pass a cry, what pass it part, who said the President of the Republic of Ghana, why are they? Papa. Let's also do comment, share comment section. Honum, you better I can stay tuned for more updates. Yeah, the more news, bro. And coupon channel on your case, that's be brave.